as we continue to pray for everyone affected by the recent winter weather. It is gratifying to hear of the help being offered from all sources to those affected. Last Friday, in a press release, Samaritans Purse shared how volunteers were on the ground in Texas, in Houston and Austin, helping nearly 70 families in the area. Some of these communities have been without power for 2 weeks, and they have to deal with burst pipes, fallen trees, and they haven't had power. Samaritans Purse volunteers are removing water damaged items, attempting to help clean up the trees. They're helping fix a mess that is down there. This is Texas. They rarely get this kind of weather, and most people are probably not prepared for it. Now, 2 weeks ago, they deployed 2 disaster relief units, including one already at their Southwest Ministry Center in Dallas. These relief units included generators, chainsaws, and other relief supplies. So we are thankful for this help, and will continue to pray for the people of Texas and others affected. Last Wednesday, Aaron's, the Appliance rental and leasing organization, announced a 10-cent per share dividend that will take effect on April the 6th. This is about a 1.8% yield, according to the press release. Also, they will be buying back $150 million of common stock. Last Tuesday, the Department of Defense released 2 contract announcements. The first was a $10 million contract to Hardwick Tactical of Cleveland, Tennessee for U.S. military dress uniforms. This money will come from the CARES Act funds and is intended to ameliorate COVID-19 related costs, keep the plants open, and the employees paid. The second contract was $14 million to Draper to enhance volume production of computer chips for the Department of Defense. These funds came from both the Defense Production Act and the Department of Defense Industrial Base Analysis and Sustainment. Draper will use these funds to produce 3-dimensional ultra-high density microelectronic modules, which are in production at the I3 Microsystems plant in St. Petersburg, Florida. Last Saturday, I was flipping the dial and I came across an NPR program. Sam Sanders was sharing how 1 year ago on Saturday, the NBA was playing in, I believe, Oklahoma City. And there was a pause before the game. No one knew what was going on. Even the announcers are like, "We'll tell you when we find out." Well, obviously, we now know why they were pausing. Some of the players had tested positive for COVID-19, and they told the audience that while they were safe, the game would have to be closed. And that was the beginning of the pandemic. We have been in this a year. And thanks to the grace of God, good leadership, and vaccinations, we are now coming out of it. In another sign that we are coming out of it, last Monday, Kansas released a press statement that said February tax collections were both higher than expected and higher than 1 year ago. They brought in about $455.9 million, which was 4.5% higher, $19.8 million, than projected, and 1.7% better than last year, which was $7.6 million better than last year. And remember, this was February, when the pandemic had not yet started. Individual income taxes collections were up 13% more than last year. Corporate income tax collections were up 63.5% above last year. And the retail sales tax was up 0.8%. Last Saturday, in a sobering press release, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission announced that a live aquarium plant. These are moss balls. They're a moss plant that you put in the aquarium and it lives there. They're sold under the name Beta Buddy and mini merino moss balls. Well, these are infested with zebra mussels. Zebra mussels have been an issue for a very long time, and they're an example of one of the many invasive species we have to be concerned about. Zebra mussels can clog pipes and damage aquatic ecosystems. The larvae may not be visible to the naked eye, so check with your local agriculture department to check how to get rid of these things. Do not flush them down the toilet or the drain, or don't chuck them in a lake. This is yet another example of, well, kudzu is the most famous invasive species, and there's a lot of other ones. So this is a very scary reminder of the sad world we live in. Last Friday, the South Dakota Department of Tourism was proud to announce that they were the recipients of 15 awards during the 55th American Advertising Awards, including the Gold Addy, the Judge's Choice, and the Best of Show. Last year, South Dakota Tourism generated $276 million in revenue and supported nearly 50,000 jobs. So, without further ado, I'd like to show you one of their magazine spreads. And then we will show one of the award-winning videos. And hats off to the Department of Tourism from South Dakota.
There's really incredible tradition here in the state of South Dakota. For me, it's really getting out into the field. It's, the sun kind of bathing over the landscape. It's all of those experiences that really make me love it.
Pheasant hunting is probably one of the most adrenaline rushing hunts you can go on, because you're walking and they just get up right next to you.
If that won't get your heart going, nothing will.
It catches you by surprise, and that's the part of the thrill that I love, and I think most people do as well. Just the sights, the rush when you're in the field, and of course the people. It's just a beautiful time of year for South Dakota.
When we're out in the field, you always have opportunities to share stories and share things about your life that you might not in other arenas. It's a hands-on thing, and whether or not we're successful is less important as the relationship building opportunity that we have out there. But you need to have some level of success in order to keep that excitement going, and South Dakota provides that.
In South Dakota, it is the place to hunt pheasants. It's the pheasant capital of the world, and you just kind of feel like you're with family. It's an experience like nowhere else.